Good morning and welcome to our viewers joining us from the United States and all around the world. So glad you're with us. Rahel Solomon is off. I'm MJ Lee. It's Monday, July 28th, 5 a.m. here in Washington, D.C. And straight ahead on Early Start.
There is no policy of starvation in Gaza.
It's been catastrophic in this deliberate campaign to deprive Palestinians in Gaza of food and water.
We've reached a deal. This started months ago, this negotiation.
Rebalance, but enable trade on both sides, which means good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic.
Possibly the largest trade deal that's ever been done.
America's latest coffee chain isn't from America.
Luckin Coffee is from China.
How'd you hear about Luckin?
I actually heard about it from TikTok.
U.S. President Donald Trump has a busy day ahead in Scotland after reaching a framework for a trade deal with the EU on Sunday. He's expected to meet British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in the coming hours. President Trump sealed a trade deal with the UK last month. And today, the U.S. Treasury Secretary is expected to meet with Chinese negotiators in Stockholm for talks to reach a trade deal with China. Meanwhile, the U.S.-EU trade deal that President Trump announced includes a 15% levy on imports from the EU and an additional $600 billion of investments in the U.S. The EU will also increase its purchases of U.S. energy and military equipment. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and the U.S. President praised the deal.
I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
I think we hit exactly the point we wanted to find. Rebalance, but enable trade on both sides, which means good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic, means prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic, and that was important for us.
CNN's Richard Quest has details of that U.S.-EU trade deal.
Donald Trump for the United States, Ursula von der Leyen for the European Union. Both leaders agreed this was a huge deal, possibly the largest trade deal that's ever been done. At 15%, both sides can also claim a victory of sorts. Donald Trump was never going to let the EU off scot-free, if you will. There was always a price to be paid. And 15% does bring in tens of billions of dollars of revenue for the Treasury to help him beat the budget deficit. For the Europeans, 15% is a great deal better than the 20, 30+% that had been promised. And this 15% is the number. It isn't added on to any other tariffs. So most exports from the EU to the United States will now have a 15% tariff. Also, the EU has agreed to buy hundreds of billions of dollars worth of energy and make various investments into the United States. That part is considerably more vague. What this deal does is bring certainty. European businesses may not like the idea of a 15% tariff, and who will ultimately pay it? The manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, or pass it on to the consumer. But that's for the future. For the moment, both sides say they can live with this number, and that gives grounds for the market to rally when it opens on Monday. Richard Quest, CNN, New York.